filed a joint I-751 and my husband now wants a divorce. What do I do?
Get a divorce and prove it's a real marriage, and you still get a green card. Nobody says you have to stay in an unhappy marriage.
Okay. Mohammed Ramzan said, my wife is a U.S. citizen, but I'm on an F1 visa and on paid leave from a university back home and will have to come back and serve at that university.
We spoke to him on the phone, and he was the one who I said you have a contract that doesn't prevent you from getting a green card.
Yes, that's absolutely right.
That is correct.
That is correct.
You know what I love after I answer the questions, Belgium Kim?
What?
If you could yell, "That's correct, Brad!"
You're right. Wait, does that mean that every once in a that would suggest that sometimes you can be wrong?
No,
I don't like that.
No, Brad, that doesn't sound right to me.
Yeah. Are you sure?
Yeah, you sure, man? That just sounds all wrong.
Fearless Michelle on Facebook said, if I applied for my citizenship, did my biometric, and I'm waiting for an interview date, but got arrested for possession of a knife, how is that going to affect my application? I've been to court twice and have an upcoming date. My last hearing, I was offered to take a guilty plea for a traffic offense, but I did not accept the offer, and the case is a misdemeanor and has so far started to affect an otherwise clean record.
I don't think it would be a traffic offense. It would be a disorderly conduct, probably, is what you would be taking. Possession of a knife in of itself is not a crime of moral turpitude. It could always be used against you to say you don't have good moral character. But if you are insisting on having a clean record, just fight it out.
First Lady Hewitt said, does the withdrawal of an I-485 application after an interview affect you? And if so, how?
Yes. Immigration knows about you. They know where you are. And it very well, they may put you in deportation if you're not in legal status.
Chelly Usdan said, I'm a green card holder by SIJ. Could I get married to my girlfriend back home in Jamaica? And how long would it take to get her here if I do?
Yes, you can. You're a green card holder. You could get married to her about 2.5 to 3 years.
Yay. Ooh, the woman who slid up in my Instagram DMs to let me know it was her, Jessica Leamy.
Jessica Leamy
has a question.
Yes, what's her question?
He said, did the orange man and his peeps come to a decision on extending VAWA?
We talked about that earlier.
Yes, we sure did.
And I said there was going to be a vote in the House today, but I didn't see it. But maybe it happened, but I didn't see it.
I Googled. It doesn't look like it happened.
All right.
What's Infopass? Can I meet with someone who's got my case of a green card application pending based on marriage? And can I submit original documents and evidence at the time of the meeting?
You can't submit anything at the meeting. An Infopass is an appointment to go meet with an immigration information officer, which is the person, basically the receptionist at the desk. Okay, then you're not meeting with anybody who has any authority. All they will do is pass on a message on your behalf to somebody who may have authority, and whether that person reads that message or not, who knows. But don't drop documents off with anybody. You will never see them again. They will never make it into your file. You only submit documents when requested.
Another question from Leonora, who said, I filed for my green card in February of this year, 2019, but I have not yet received the receipt. Do you think that's okay? I got married to a U.S. citizen. Should I have received something by now?
Yes, you should have. Make sure your check got cashed.
Sexy Shan on YouTube says, I want to know how long ago, ooh, this is interesting. I hadn't seen this, Sexy Shan. I want to know how long ago Brad started the live show, because I remember that I used to watch in Jamaica in February of 2017.
We did do a live show in February 2017.
We were. Yeah, she said she remembers she used to watch you.
Yes, but we used to do it in February 2017. We were in our studio then.
We were in our studio. We debuted in this studio.
No, 2018.
No, in October of 2017.
October 2017.
Yeah.
So we were doing my radio show at Squeeze at the time.
Yeah.
Right, from the radio studio. We turned our telephones around.
Right, yeah.
Right, that's what we were doing back
on tiny
then.
little tripods. That's when I started.
Yes,
that's what we were doing.
And Kim wasn't even hired to be on the air.
No, I was not.
We just found her really funny and said, you got to come on the air.
I wasn't even hired to be a producer on this show. No, an AP. Oh, how things have changed.
That's right. You go tell everyone that at your high school reunion.
High school reunion. Yeah. Dream Girl says, I wanted to know, I'm ready to start my adjustment of status. What exactly do I need to start my paperwork if I want to hire your law firm?
What do you need? I don't know how you're adjusting your status. I guess this is through marriage. You need your marriage certificate. If it's your marriage, which is I assume, you need your marriage certificate, your birth certificate, your passport on how you entered the United States of America, death certificates, and proof that your spouse is a citizen.
Mandy Wiggle said, what's the first thing you're going to do if somebody was out of status for almost 6 years?
Have them have a consultation with me.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Funny video on YouTube said, how long after receiving the work permit should I expect to get an interview?
12 to 24 months.
Beth Laxumi said, how long after the adjustment of status interview are we going to get a decision? We had the interview 13 months ago.
It's supposed to be 120 days.
We got major issues.
You got major issues. And I think you should go back and watch Abadir Sues the Government, and you should come in and sue the government. And by the way, people think when they sue the government, I don't want to piss them off. You're actually not pissing them off. You're actually making them scared to do the.
Really?
Yeah, you're actually scaring them into doing the right thing. So it's the actual opposite. Even though your emotion says different, logically, if you think about it, you're actually scaring them into doing the right thing.
What's the processing time for an employment-based EAD card? It was originally filed at the Texas Service Center, but automatically got transferred to NVC. My application was filed in December of last year.
About 5.5 months.
Okay. Fox Racing said, I'd like to know if the I-864 affidavit of support is the correct form to fill out in order to show support for a family member abroad seeking medical treatment in the USA.
No, it would be the I-131 affidavit of support. The I-864 is done with family-based and adjustment applications only.
So, and then he's actually got a follow-up. It's a little bit more detail. His brother is a U.S. citizen, and he's sponsoring his daughter, so the brother's daughter, Fox Racing's niece, for medical treatment in New York. The B1 visa abroad.
If it's a B1 visa, it's the I-131.
The I-131. Great.
Right.
Tony Gibson said, is SIJ over 18 in New York getting approved now since there was a decision in federal court? I have a SIJ petition filed, and it's almost been a year now, and I'm 19.
It should, but they're just delaying everything while everything else is going through the courts.
Aisha said, I'm a U.S. citizen and my husband is on an F1 visa. I've got a query. My husband is on paid leave from university in our home country. This is the wife of the husband.
Okay, we've now had that question 3 times.
You guys wanted to make sure to get your answer today.
Listen, man, that contract doesn't mean anything with immigration, okay? All right, next.
Legs 11 Tag says, is the date of the marriage or the date of submitting your affidavit of support, or the adjustment of status, what determines the intent/misrepresentation? And
Both.
Okay, so is it okay to marry within 90 days but just wait a few months for that adjustment?
No, it's not okay.
Don't do it.
Both.
After doing your biometric, when would you get a next reply? I did it last Thursday, and I had filed the I-360.
It's about 5.5 months from the time you file the I-360 for your work permit. And if you're doing an I-360, I assume it's an abuse case. An I-360 could be a religious worker too. It could be a special juvenile immigrant. I'm just assuming it's a VAWA, but I could be wrong.
Afternoon. I just had a quick question about my girlfriend obtaining her citizenship. Currently, she's got her 10-year green card. She's been a resident since July of 2010, having married her husband in June of 2009. At the time, she had her conditional and did the full interviews and got her 10-year. Presently, they don't live together. However, they have not been legally divorced, and she's been asking him for a divorce for about 3 years now in the state of New York because she lives elsewhere. Should she wait to get the final divorce decree and then file for citizenship, or is there any issue that's going to arise being a permanent resident for over 5 years and not being legally separated or divorced?
File your citizenship today. There's no issue whatsoever. You don't have to be living with the man. And in New York State, there's no fault divorce. You don't need his permission. You can start a divorce with or without him.
Okay, good news. Princess Black said, when someone files for their husband before their child, does the child's case go under the husband's case too? Because the case receipt number...
If you filed...
Yeah.
You're a U.S. citizen and you file for your spouse, on the form it says, please list your children. Those children are not included. Mm-hmm. You have to file separate applications for each of them. If you are a permanent resident filing for your spouse and never intend to become a citizen, then the children are included.
Gautam said, my I-485 has been pending for 4 months and I'm on an H-1B, but I'm due for my H-1B extension in July of this year. Should I just wait for my EAD and work or file for my HB1 extension as well?
Just wait for the EAD.
Ciao Bella said, my parents are very sick. I need their medical records and it's hard for them to move around. Is there any way that my immigration lawyer can help me get them?
Medical records?
Yeah.
Any lawyer can help. Anybody can help. It's a HIPAA form. You just sign a form.
Great.
Anybody can help. You don't have to be your immigration lawyer. It could be anybody.
It could be any lawyer.
Yes.
But if you have an immigration lawyer,
wonderful.
Use them. Michael said, I'm having a hard time receiving a job verification letter for USCIS. My job is saying they can't give me one. What else can I do?
Just show pay stubs and tax returns.
Yeah. Make them claim you.
Yes.
Bally Abe said, what are the chances for someone who's been living in the States for 21 years and paid 20 years of taxes while overstaying his F1 visa and is now married to a U.S. citizen? What are his chances of being able to become a legal resident?
Sounds excellent.
Haha.
Excellent chances.
Excellent chances.
Yes.
Milo Vernon said, my friend's I-130 got approved and now she's filing an I-485. Does she need to send an I-30A with the I-485?
Yes.
And finally, we've got Chris White, who said, the other day I checked USCIS priority dates and they were at June 2018. But then when I checked back yesterday, I saw that they went back to April 2018 for I-130 U.S. citizens filing for unmarried children under 21. Could you explain what's happening here? How did it go back?
They went backwards. Sometimes I can't explain why immigration does. They say we're working on these cases, and now we're working on cases that were filed a year ago. It's the government. I have no idea.
That is thoroughly unfortunate.
It is.